everything's fine because there's merch in the store. Yeah, merch in the store. We're all stuck inside and we miss the outdoors. Wait, don't think about that. Stop thinking about that. I mean, what? I miss human touch. Merch in the store, new merch in the store.
You know, the Hotbox lore has gotten deep over the past couple of months. We've had many fascinating additions. My personal favorite is the Pegasus rivalry arc, but I think a close second has been the Tobi situation. And I said long ago that one of my last videos was going to be the last video. But the problem is, people just seem to forget. Not so much that people forgot, but the fact that she kept getting chance after chance at a platform. And that didn't sit right with me. Friendly reminder, if you're new, subscribe, blah 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 blah. And then, following the lover-host situation, we had a lot more to take a look at, but this time we're going to try to do a bit of a more measured response, if we all can. Because while she, for the most part, doesn't deserve any mercy, I'm just too nice sometimes. But, hey, we are gonna use the same format, because I just love this intro music, it's too catchy. Are you ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. It's funny, I think one of the best additions to Hotbox lore is that Tobi would rather delete her Twitter than unblock me. And that's canon now. She's gone. She can't deny it, so that means I'm right. But do you think the internet would forget such a catalog so quickly, Tobi? Oh, sadly mistaken. In a screen cap taken before the takedown, Tobi says, quote, "Sorry about last night, guys. I got a little over the line and carried away. Over the past 2 months, my BPD has been bad due to certain things, but I managed to talk myself down from ranting on Twitter. But last night was a slip-up. It happens, and I hate that it did." And once again, we see the classic Tobi hallmark of using her BPD to cover her apologies, because that worked so well every other time, right? You know, it worked when you were criticizing Omnia and Kai Weiss, it worked when you were drawing NSFW Art of Minors, and when people confronted you with the age, you just said that you didn't watch the show, you didn't know. Well, newsflash, genius, there's such a thing as research. Say it with me now. Research. It absolutely worked when you were talking about AFAB chests, or when you had to blackmail your friends from your alt account and delete the community post about it, and hating on commentary channels that provided you with proper criticism. You're great about knowing when to stop and how to properly and calmly voice your opinions.
I'm sorry, I can't. I have things that are severely more fucking important than this dumb bullshit. I'm blocking several drama channels, well, every drama channel, and several commentary channels because I fucking had it.
Whoops, did someone drop that? I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Using your BPD throws other mentally ill people under the bus, and casts guilt on other people with BPD, such as Minx. You remember her, right? One of those... Yeah, well, Minx said, quote, "As someone who also has BPD, her using that as an excuse for her behavior makes me so disappointed. She's genuinely calling us whores and I state before the show to the girls, it's gonna be for entertainment purposes. Is her only content playing the victim? Oh, Minx, you poor individual. Actually, maybe you're better off not knowing who Tobi is. I know my life would be much better without her. Ciao, anyways." Adriana Lee also had this to say. "As someone who has been on many shows with you, you are always nice before the show, and all the girls have always addressed, this is just a show, before the show. It's literally a large disclaimer. No fine print anywhere. It is not fair for these people to put all this on you. I am so afraid to be open about my mental health to people I want to be friends with, or people I am interested in because of the people who use the same mental illness I have, BPD, as an excuse for their behavior. It literally warps the general view of BPD and makes people want to avoid people who suffer with it. Please stop using mental illness as an excuse to be a horrible person. The two have no correlation." Oh, but you were so ready to tell people to not use their lack of education on BPD as an excuse to say stupid, ignorant shit like this. K? Oh, God. Why do I hear that in your baby voice? It's giving me nightmares already. Educate yourself, please. Let's talk about education, Tobi. If you're really trying to educate yourself, I mean, going back to whenever you first found out you had BPD, then one would think that you would have had time between all the different drama that you found yourself a part of to self-evaluate and gain the cognition to recognize that when something upsets you or when you feel an episode coming on, you should step away, no matter the circumstance. Oh, but you sure had time to play the teacher on Twitter when you started linking BPD videos before you decided to delete your page. Too bad you couldn't keep up with everyone. Everyone. It's still going, by the way. Everyone. Okay, that's it. Anyways, bottom line is, in the midst of your hemorrhaging subscriber base, it didn't take long for you to go dark. However, instead of streaming on YouTube, where you knew all the hate would come, you hopped on over to Twitch and made a few comments. Thankfully, I grabbed the VOD before you choose to delete it for, well, whatever reason. I can never be too sure with you anymore. And this is where I try to be more balanced.
Why did you delete your Twitter? Because I almost tried to kill myself this weekend. It wasn't worth it. So, I've always had extreme emotions of, this weekend, I started being like, well, I don't really care anymore. And that scared me. And there are other things that are going into it. There are things that are happening in my personal life that are really weighing on me. Things that have happened in my past as a child that have been weighing on me.
Alright, so first of all, taking your life is never something to joke at. And I'm not here to discredit any attempts you might have made on your life. What I'm here to discredit is your plausible ignorance. You can clearly recognize your stressors, recognize the signs, so you know what a good solution to that is? Step away from the internet as a whole, right? I mean, that would offer you time to not only focus on your mental health, but focus on your real-world life and your job, which you go on to say later is struggling. And the last thing I want is to see another person homeless, especially someone with a pet.
And Twitter is becoming the biggest stressor that I can cut out and still function. So I deleted it. I was just like, the people that I talk to on Twitter, who are my friends, I have Discord for. If they don't have me on Discord, they're obviously not my good friends,
It's high noon.
Tell me something, Tobi. Is Twitter just a stressor alone, or does it serve as a sort of catalog for your mistakes? Food for thought. I think a problem that people have with you is your repeated recognition of your own problems. It's the subsequent refusal to take some of what could be called the more obvious solutions. You are given chance and chance again by people far more forgiving than me, and people who still choose to stand by you and interact with you. But the solutions that seem to be right in front of your face always elude you, and whether that's for your need for money, or for some inability to walk away, it's sad. You recognize your behavior, you seem to ride the wave, but you're riding it out to sea versus riding it to the shore, and that's a problem.
I've heard about the stabilizers. Sadly, I cannot take them because they interact with another medicine that I take that serves a bigger purpose, and it's for my ADD, which makes me function and work and awake and attentive. I just need to be better about the stressors in my life. But I'll keep that in mind though. Maybe if I get a doctor again. Because that was back when I was 13. So maybe there's new stuff now. I could look into that again. I didn't really research BPD too much to realize how much it actually fucking affects my entire life.
If I get a doctor again is probably the most worrying statement. I don't mean to be too much of an armchair psychologist here, but how long have you been without a doctor? I mean, this statement threatens my whole demeanor against you, because the idea that you've been absent of proper support breaks my heart. I know not all therapists are the best, and a lot of them tend to be dismissive. Some of them straight up fail their patients, but that's not all of them. And a large part of them try to understand. The idea that your situation has come to the point where you don't even have that, it's borderline tear-jerking. I really am concerned going forward.
But Twitter was definitely a stressor that could be handled. Some other stuff, like my living situations and financial stuff with my job, are all things that kind of can't be dealt with right now. It's something that could be eliminated. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing it.
You bring up financial stuff again, but do you realize that some of that conflict is being caused by your presence online, and that presence and the criticism that it draws directly affecting your real-life responsibilities and demeanor? You have to at this point. And if you don't, that's even scarier.
It's not. What does it do? What does it do for me?
What does it do for you? Way more harm than good, if you ask me. But the problem is the harm seems to be harm that you bring upon yourself.
There are a lot of people. There's a girl, her name is Gengar's GF. She's awesome. She had to delete her Twitter because people didn't like the fact that she was following somebody who was controversial. You know what? That's bullshit. You know the people who have it for fun, the people who actively enjoy and get a jolly high off of canceling people. Oh my god, she's like so totally canceled. And I'm just like, oh my god, you're fucking bored, bitch. So
See, you almost had me. And then the baby voice. Listen, I can't speak for Gengars, I don't know who that is. But even though you and me, Toby, yeah, you and me, I'm talking about us together. Yeah, I know, strange concept, right? But even though you and me share similar opinions on cancel culture, you can't dismiss all criticism like this in this blanket fashion. Cancel culture is rooted in the idea of not supporting problematic behavior. So when a group of people step to cancel someone, it's a good idea to not just immediately hate on someone, but to also look at what that person's actions might represent to the offended group. Otherwise, it just presents as you calling all criticism BS, and that's not good.
I don't care. I really don't want to stream on YouTube anymore.
Yeah, it's not hard to figure out why you don't want to stream on YouTube anymore. Whenever you post, it's a constant dislike bomb and hate flood. A hate flood that you can so easily block otherwise, but that isn't so easily dealt with in a live environment. People who know your Twitch, or who find you on Twitch, have less of a chance of being familiar with your controversy on other platforms, especially now that your Twitter is scrubbed from existence. But hey, that's just a theory.
A game theory!
Being a liver host and being on a certain side of Twitch that I didn't really care to be on, I really have more appreciation for the world of VR chat. You know what? Get fucked. Literally, VR chat and people who stream VR chat are pretty fucking chill, and they're not cunts as far as I know. But literally, everyone can get fucked. Fuck off.
Oh no, you're still using that insult? You see, this is where my empathy starts to fade just a little bit, because you're still calling them the same things that you called them in your previous episode, where you said you wanted to learn. You can apologize for a mistake, but mistakes are intrinsically made to be learned from. So when you actively choose or show repeated signs of not doing just that, it falls more in the category of blatant ignorance.
Whoever the host girls that were on, that's debatable. Maybe, who knows? I just don't think they're my kinds of people. I don't vibe with people like that.
What, people that take responsibility? I kid. Remember, it's a measured response. Although I feel like it's a lot more than vibes that stand in the way of a friendship between you and everyone else. I don't know.
Are you above 18? Okay, hey girl, what's up? You want to go on a date? We can go to a really cute place in the middle of nowhere. It's like an abandoned Dairy Queen, and you and me, we can lick a Band-Aid off the floor. What do you think?
Yeah, this might be super small and I might be grasping at straws, but this little over 18 bit feels really inappropriate in the face of all the other things that you've done. Just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't know, maybe I'm being too critical. Or maybe I'm onto something. But you know what hurts the most? Not the fact that she has 270 plus hours of VR chat, but it's these moments outside of this on the stream. I watched the whole thing. She has moments where she just seems to forget about it all. She seems unbothered. And it's moments where you remember that Tobi Majestic is Toby Mars, a pretty young woman, just like anyone, who has moments where they laugh at things, who has moments where they enjoy themselves, and it's bizarrely humanizing. And maybe that's her secret. It's her base humanity at the bottom of everything else that makes people want to give her second chance after second chance. But does it excuse everything that she's done in the past? Absolutely not. But what it does demonstrate is that she's not hopeless. So what's my final sentiment? Keep your nose clean, Toby. Stay away from the internet for a while. And please, for all the memes I made about it, reach out to me. I meant what I said about just talking. You want to know why? Because for once in my life, I want to see you give it to someone straight. So that maybe you have something to think about, something to stop you before you blow up into your next drama. I just want to talk. Simple as that. And you know what? Fuck it. I'll apologize for the things that you think that I got wrong. Because I just want this to be put to bed. And I want to see you walk a different path and be happy. So yeah, any last words from me? Well, yes. In fact, I put them in the pinned comment of my last video. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Sabbatic Twit, by the way, for helping me take a second critical glance at Tobi's stream. Go check out their art. I feature them all the time, but it doesn't do them justice. And thank you to you, audience, for sticking with me throughout all of this. Friendly reminder, if you enjoyed the coverage, why not leave a like and subscribe to stay tuned for more. Comment, hey, tell me your thoughts. Did I get something right? Did I get something wrong? Lay it all on me. I'm ready. And I am more than ready to focus on other content, because I didn't think I'd find myself down this rabbit hole again. Also, if you want to help pay for some of the aspirin that I'll need following this, you can buy my merch. The link is in the description and the pinned comment, and you can use code HOTBOX for 10% off at checkout. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and an even better tomorrow. I love you. And before you say it back, look in the mirror and say it to yourself. I will see you in the next episode of whatever I make. And until next time, bye!
We play. Do you? Is that a threat?